Good day to everyone. The topic that I'm going to discuss is nonverbal learning disabilities or NVLD. So what is NVLD? Nonverbal learning disorder or NVLD is a learning disability that causes difficulty with motor, visual, spatial, and social skills. Motor here is referred as our motor skills, which is our physical ability to hold things, to do things with our body. Visual spatial is our ability to comprehend things in what we see. And social skills are our ability to interact with other people. Children with NVLD can speak well and can write well, but they struggle with subtle social cues and comprehensions of abstract concepts. Here are the early signs of NVLD. The first one is they miss social cues, making it hard to make and keep friends. Social cues are the nonverbal aspect of our communication. These are the facial expressions and our body language. The second one is needs to verbalize things for them to understand. So when someone is doing a body language or a gesture, they need to ask what is the meaning of that gesture for them to understand what they mean. The third is struggles with reading comprehension and mathematical problem solving. So they find it hard to understand what they read and understand the formulas of a mathematical problem. Next is they are physically clumsy. They are physically clumsy because when they hold things, they always drop it and they always get in the way and they always bump into things. They don't have awareness of the things around them. Last is they struggle with metaphors, abstract, and sarcasm. So, NVLD diagnosed people are very literal in understanding things with metaphors, abstract, sarcasms, including idioms. Next is how to treat symptoms of nonverbal learning disability. The first one is academic intervention for NVLD, meaning it is situated in schools. The first one is social skills group. It can teach kids how to interact with friends, how to stay safe around strangers, and how to recognize when they are being teased. So here they can practice how to interact with other people since they are in groups. And they can now recognize whether a person is or can do harm to them. And they will now know if they are being teased by other people. Next is occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is a branch of healthcare that helps people of all ages to have who have physical, sensory, or cognitive problems. So it builds fine motor skills and can teach meaning and importance of facial expressions. So here they are practiced to use their fine motor skills, which is, for example, holding a pencil, using a scissor, folding a paper, etc. They are also taught the meanings of facial expressions. Next is typing. Instead of printing, this can help children with NLD who have poor handwriting to better express themselves. So instead of writing when they are having struggles with holding their pen or pencil, they can instead use technology. Next is recording classroom lectures. To be replayed at a later date, can children who learn best by listening, audiobooks are also helpful in this regard. So as I said before, NVLD diagnosed people have difficulties in understanding or comprehending things. So they might need to replay the lesson for them to understand. Next is using daily planner. It can help students build time management strategies and stay organized because they also lack organization. Next is at-home interventions for NVLD, meaning it is situated at their homes. The first one is talk through concepts when your child seems confused. So when your child is struggling with understanding some things, you need to explain it to them. And when they are questioning you or asking you some things, you need to answer them. But you don't have to answer them all the time because if you always answer them, they will get used to having someone answer their questions, and you don't want that. If they are asking too many questions, you need to tell them you can only answer three more questions and that's it, so that they will not get used to it. Next is Prepare your child in advance for big changes or daily transitions. So when you are doing something or for example when you go to the zoo, you have to tell them what to do next or what you are going to do next. For example is you tell them first we are going to see the elephants and then the giraffes and then we're going to have lunch. You also have to ask them when will they get stressed or bored. Next is focus on your words. So when you tell them something, you have to say it in a very straightforward way. You don't need to use some idioms or some sarcasms for them to understand it directly. Lastly is watch for signs of overload. So when your child is overly bored or stressed, you have to let them rest. So the conclusion is although this is one of the most overlooked learning disability, we need to address it as early as possible because the earlier it is treated, the better is the result. So that is the end of my topic.